All right, Jason, the gauntlet continues, man.
Yep. Let's see. Well, we got the Gears of War games up here. 1, 2, and 3, phenomenal games. I mean, when you think of Xbox 360, in my mind, it goes, straight to Gears and Halo, What about Call of Duty and blah, blah, blah. Call of Duty, I don't know.
What's the last one you have? Did you buy Modern Warfare?
I want to say the only Call of Duty game I still have in any... Well, no, because I got some stuff on Steam. But the actual physical copy I have, Modern Warfare 1. That's pretty much the best one, in my opinion. But,
what was that, the physical re-release? Or
no, this was original.
The OG 360?
OG, yeah.
I bet you they didn't make that BC, did they? No, they wouldn't have, because they could... So that way they could charge you, again, to get the same fucking game you already own. The we'll shit about Bobby Kotick on another video.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research on that one.
Dude, Gears 3 is fucking the shit.
Oh, absolutely. Just how, each game builds upon the story. You get a little bit of hope left, and then boom, you're right back down at the bottom again.
And it keeps it cryptic too. It keeps it cryptic.
Oh yes, absolutely. And just the improvements that they made, on each game. There's the spot in Gears 2, with
the worm.
Well, I don't know. Do we want to do spoilers? It's been long enough. Where Dom's wife dies. That hits you in the feels, and then he makes the sacrifice in 3. Again, you're, you feel it, and to counteract that, and Marcus's, grimness. You have the woo Coltrane doing his stuff, and Baird. But yeah, 3 is probably the pinnacle. I do like 4. I haven't gone through 5, but
I've only played a little bit of 5. It's pretty good, and it looks to be. The problem with Gears 4 is it just kind of ends on a deliberate cliffhanger. The fuck with you. And it just feels like it's in the shadow of 3. Of course, being back to 2-player doesn't help. I'm talking about co-op mode, because 3, freaking 4 people, man. So it could shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you could be Marcus. You can be one of the 4 main Gears, and then the Carmines, I believe. I could be wrong. But just. The music, the atmosphere, the voice acting, all top notch.
Scratch one, grub.
The weapons feel great. Hitting that active reload and getting that burst damage and stuff, great. And I want to say, Gears of War 3. I was all in on that shit. I bought the $60, DLC, and that's still been the only time that I have not regretted. I think it was actually worth all that, because not only did you get all the extra skins and cosmetics and stuff for your weapons, but you also got the great, was it 2 or 3 little side scenarios and stuff. Like even the last one where you actually played as General Rom, and you're going through, wiping out all the guys in the city. That was awesome. And then, on top of Horde Mode on Gears of War 3, which, Horde is awesome, build up your defenses, and, it's that tower defense thing. Especially when you're playing with your buddies, get that, tense moment and stuff. They had the Beast Mode. So with that one, you're playing as various beast, whether it's the Horde or the other guys.
Lamprey? Something
like that. And you're trying to kill, destroy all their defenses, and then get to the gears and kill them. So that was fun too. And you, based on your kills and other things you do, that's how many points you had to buy your next little tier and stuff. So yeah, Gears of War 3, definitely need to play that if nothing else.
The hell, it's all on Game Pass, and just playing through the campaign with a friend or even solo is just worth your time. They're only about, I think. Some of those games were decently long, but I think Gears 1 was only like 8 or 9 hours if you just got through it. Now that was hard. That was a hard.
Sounds
game.
About right, yeah. Let's see, Prey. You still haven't played Prey, right?
I've played enough Prey to know about it.
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah, I played it.
Okay.
I've played it way back in the day. I had the burnt copy.
Oh, see, I tracked that back down because I sold my copy like a dumbass, and like, yeah, dude, you gotta play this, man. You can burn through it and everything. I had a lot of fun with Prey. I want to say, wasn't it kind of an early title for the 360?
Yeah. Back when, well, there was okay amount, but still, when your new consoles come out, there's just that drop period where you just pick up almost anything.
Yeah, but Prey was absolutely worth it. Great premise. You know, I want to say this is, you know, we're not going to count like Night Wolf and, you know, shit like that from Mortal Kombat or whatever, but this is, I believe, one of the first few times that you're a Native American protagonist. Alien invasion comes and you're trying to save.
Turok says hi. I don't know what Turok was.
Again, I never played Turok.
Oh my god, you just fucking ruined the video. I got a bit. No, go keep going. Keep going.
But with this one, I mean, gunplay was awesome, and the whole gimmick with this one was, you know, you're fighting, you know, basically 360. You're doing all kinds of like wall jumps and stuff like that. You know, you're fighting upside down. So you can trigger.
Was it all in the alien ship? As far as I was always in there.
Well, eventually, I think you get to like the little alien world, and you take it right to the queen or whoever it was. Again, it's been a long time since I played it, but I mean, I went through it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, you're trying to save your girlfriend and, you know, tribe and all that stuff, and you have the whole Native American spirituality thing to it, because I think you could tune up your bow.
I don't remember.
But it was a beautiful game. Again, a lot of fun, and you see, I paid I think $4 for it. So it should be backwards compatible on the Xbox One too. If nothing else, when one of their sales come up, definitely check it out. You know, 2K doing awesome 2K shit at that time.
We won't talk about them today.
Right.
Bullet Witch, man, that's another game we paid about $5 for.
Yep. Well, another early launch, right?
It was good. Well, let's take this step that back. It's sometimes you don't want to play the best shit. Sometimes you want to jump into mediocre shit, which is somebody's campy boobs and stupidness, and
absolutely.
You don't want to pay full price, like budget type games, stuff like Lollipop Chainsaw and things like that. And this is it. And I'm pretty sure that's PC too, right?
I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah, because it was.
If not, it should be.
If it was done by Atari, but Atari published it. Now, who knows what Atari version that we're at right now? But do you remember the little spells and shit?
You would do that to you power up your ammo and stuff, right?
You could power up your ammo on your Bullet Witch broom gun, and then you could shoot ravens. You can put thorns on people, and then they had like just entire world, like you could cast a full size, like actual size tornado. None of this Diablo 3 little tornadoes the size of a person, like a full tornado.
Oh, yeah.
And on certain levels it would just blow up the whole fucking level and just leave just ruins everywhere. It's a great game. It's got some bad boss fights. And by great, I mean great for B tier or C tier.
Then I always like the costumes, you know, again,
yeah.
You know, we're going to anime boobs and
all
that stuff.
It had some bullshit DLC. Today you would call these microtransactions, but like the tornado thing would be a perfect example. It's like you could only use that tornado on one level, but if you paid money to, you know, I guess Atari, you could use the tornado on other levels. It's like, that's bullshit, but I don't remember how much it cost. It was in there.
I don't know. I think it was pretty reasonably priced, because I want to say like the costumes were only like $1 a piece or whatever. But yeah, I mean, again, for what it is, it's not bad. Yeah, I had fun with it. You know, we had fun. Can we play that together? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Or maybe we were playing at the same time and just talking.
Yeah.
To one another.
It's only like 6 or 7 hours. But I like shit games like that. I like stuff like Senran Kagura. And
again, that's just, you know, you're blowing shit up because, like I said, the environments, you know, are destroyable and all that. You just want mindless fun, just to decompress.
And now, Insect Armageddon it was the second EDF put out for 360. The first one being 2017, which is awesome, but it was only, you could play with other people, but they were all, today you would call them a ranger class. And me and Russell played a pretty good bit, but we never got through the Inferno part of that game. It gets rough, and there's like a bazillion weapons, and it's kind of almost crappy that, well, no, there's still a bazillion weapons in the other ones, but you had it all on one character before.
Yeah.
But the stuff like the turrets would just be so good that you would be required to have one of your weapons be a turret. Now, Insect Armageddon was actually not made by, you know what, I can't remember who is. It wasn't made by the main team. They farmed that out to somebody, kind of like, what was that, Iron Rain that recently came out last year.
Oh, yeah.
But for a 360 game, it was pretty dang good. And it was the first one I played that had the classes in it. There might have been something on PSP or Vita or something that had the classes in it before that, but it had the classes, and I was really a fan of the jet flying one. You could, once your character got better, you could kind of hover in the air, just pressing left trigger, I think, or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But you know, it was a girl in 2049 in the recent ones, but I think it was just a guy. And this one,
so, yeah.
And he kind of roller skated on the ground with his jet flying skis or whatever. The only problem I had with this game is that, okay, it had a bunch of weapons, but it was pretty much like, oh, well, here's machine gun, and here's machine gun level 2, and then here's machine gun level 3, and then there was a homing missile, I think it was called the Goat, and then it didn't do much damage, but the maximum Goat hit everything on the level. It doesn't matter how far you are. The homing was so high and retarded. Yeah. And I could sit there at the start of a level, blow up every building and hit every monster from not moving. It was just cheesy as fuck. I know that we definitely beat it on normal.
Yeah.
I don't know how far you played with me.
I can't remember because, again, I have a love-hate with this one. I love it. This is probably, I like the Insect Armageddon part. Like even the newer ones, I wish it'd go back to more of that. Which it does have a fair amount. But anyway, at some point my save got messed up, so I lost.
Piss you off, man.
I lost everything because we spent I don't know how many hours going through grinding on Inferno and stuff, getting our shit up, and then to have that happen, I was like, oh my god, yeah.
You'd be done. I understand. What class did you? I don't remember. Was it Ranger?
I was just straight Ranger in that one. I started off trying to be the heavy guy, but too damn slow. They're already at the end of the level trying to fight the big boss or whatever, and I'm Gimli, huffing and puffing, trying to catch up, and then I tried the support guy. I blew us all up at the very beginning, so I'm like, nah, we're going straight Ranger. And same thing, one of my weapons would be one of the homing rocket launchers, but I mean, other than that,
You sure you're not confusing this with 2049? I thought that was 3 classes. In Insect Armageddon. And I don't remember. I don't think that. I know exactly what you're talking about. The support class, the guy that has the water heater, right?
Yeah.
I think you're getting.
Might be.
He's only in 20. I don't even remember the name. It was the second one released by the main company, and they called it 2049 or 37 over here, and then it was called like EDF4 or some shit for like PlayStation. That one was the motherfucker that crashed on us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We would play. We all bought this game at the same time, like 4 or 5 of us. And I think I had 2 copies. And then we get our 4-player game up, and then we play through 360. You get toward the end, you beat the level, and the game would crash on multiplayer. Almost like 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And then never patched, never nothing. Fuck you. Because you have the 360, and you don't have the Japanese system. It's like, that pissed me off a lot. And, so I didn't even get EDF 5 until it was on Steam.
Yeah.
I was pretty mad. They forgot us, there's Xbox, bro. They just left us down.
Of course.
And it's not the only thing on this list that I'll just go to the next page and I'll point it out immediately. Oh, it's right here. Castlevania Lord of Shadow runs somewhere between 24 and 20 frames on like the 360 because the PS3 was the main platform. Most of the time it's going to be on stuff like Skyrim and shit. It sucks on the PlayStation. This one, we the one who got the shit port. I actually like Lord of Shadow, at least the first one. A lot of people hate this game.
Well, I played the first one. I haven't played part 2. From the parts I played, I really liked it. It's in that same vein as, God of War, switching up the gameplay. But, I mean, it felt nice. You can upgrade your whip, and I think you start off with, the kunais or shurikens or whatever.
You have a bunch of little side items, and as you play more, they're really good. As you play more, you'll get more of them. Something like a holy water is really damn good.
Yeah.
And you would just spam it if you got unlimited amounts, but you don't. I think you had little fairies that distract enemies too. The voice actor, I don't remember his name. He's fucking amazing. And of course, Picard's in this shit too. He was I forgot the guy's name. He was a fellow vampire hunter. And a lot of people bitch that this doesn't feel like Castlevania. I would say it is. The problem is, Jason, is it started off as another game, and then Konami picked up Mercury Steam, and then they transformed it into Castlevania. So there's like this heavy Lord of the Rings feel with ogres and orcs and shit at the beginning of the game. Yeah. And then halfway through, it transitions to the vampire castle. And a lot of people don't like that, Dracula's not the first vampire according to this story. There's already been vampires, and they've been around for eons before he even shows up. I remember I finally beat this game, and then Russell has to have a cigarette because Russell was with me. So we go out and smoke a cigarette. We come in, and it's like went to a cutscene because we went for the credits, so we were smoking cigarettes. Yeah. We go in there, and then he's Dracula? I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I was like, what the hell happened on? Oh, you need to buy the DLC to find out how this shit is. How about fuck you, Konami, you little shitheads.
That was the Mirror of Fate or something like that?
The Mirror of Fate's like the second game. We can bitch about that in a second. But they had 2 DLCs. One of them, he gets cursed or something. And that's how he becomes Dracula. And another problem is, if you literally fight Dreadlord Satan as your final boss, well, who do you fight? And you, Dracula, who's the boss for Lord of Shadow 2? You know what it is? Satan again. And so it's kind of like it just... And the time of Lord of Shadow 2, he is Dracula. You use Dracula's abilities. He has an ice sword, and he has like kind of this element type thing. So there's a light and dark element to him. Kind of
like Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, there's a lot about to it. And he could do light and darkness. One of the cool things I like the opening cinematic was, the Knights of Paladins or whatever come to kill him. And he's like, you can't kill me because God has chosen me. And then they literally, I think the Paladin's like kneeling for the cross to do is like something on a nuclear thing. And then Dracula puts his hand right on him and he starts chanting it too because he was also, the Warrior of Light or whatever the fuck it is. And they blows up and they all die, but he's alive. Where they really fucked up is that that Mirror of Fate is like a terrible, god-awful 3DS game. Yeah. I don't know if you remember. They eventually ported it up to try to make a trilogy out of it, but they wanted you to play the 3DS version and then they went through like Alucard, Trevor's, and Simon's story or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then so there was like 3 or 4 characters you could be. God of War in 2D just doesn't, it feels bad. So they crammed in like lores and lores of Castlevania's story to try to fit their new narrative.
Right.
And who gives a shit? And so Alucard is a major, he helps you a lot on Lords of the Shadow 2. You just don't fucking care. You don't care about the story. They go to Dracula's castle where everybody acts like they've known. Well, the story-wise, it's been there for 1,000 years. So all these characters know Dracula. You don't ever met these fucking characters. You don't give a shit about them. And so you go between like the future where you're running around in the sewers and the labs, and then you're going to back and forth between this story where he's in this castle and he's having to retain the world, all the villains or something in there. It's fucked up. It
sounds convoluted.
Yeah, it is convoluted. There's a lot of shit where there's forced stealth. That's like you're Dracula, and then you got to fight this Minotaur guy and stealth or some shit, and you step just slightly wrong. I remember I died 40 or 50 fucking times. There's these fat dudes that also you have to force stuff around, and it's so brutal. It's so a pain in the ass. It's like when you make a game, Tomb Raider would be a great example, where you die more to the quick time events than to the actual game. It pisses you off, man. And so you got this fucking like chip on your shoulder. You're like enraged and shit. I mean, you're living Dracula. I guess you're RPing him in real life. It's just, and it came out, I think, right around Dark Souls 2, and Ninja goddamn Razor's Edge, and it was forgotten. And it was like, it came out early 2013. And Mercury Steam, I think, have only done like some kind of free to play shit. Like,
well, they did that. Were they the ones that did that Metal Gear?
No.
That wasn't okay.
No, that's, as far as I know, that was Kojima Productions without Kojima, if I think right. That's why they put the secret little things to say like Kojima rules and shit, Easter eggs and stuff in there. The problem with Konami is, okay, they want to get back into the games because the Pacino machines are going back, but you do not want them to make one. Their own team made that Contra Rogue Core. Rogue Core sucks ass.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and so here we're hearing these rumors about 2 Silent Hill games. They're going to have to farm them out. Although for the last, like, Eddie would be the expert, but I think it was Silent Hill 4. Well, not 4, but all the other ones afterward were put out to Western companies to make, just like Mercury Steam did this. They don't have a team to make their IP. It's like you almost need to sell that shit to Capcom or Nintendo or somebody.
Absolutely.
And so, you've got 2 pretty bad Castlevania Lord of Shadow games, and then the first one has, a lot of people don't like, the fans don't like, and so you kind of destroyed your reboot, essentially.
Well, not only that, you had something perfect in the lines, and you made a goddamn mobile game. Yeah,
you talking about HD too?
Yeah.
If they had even have done that, they would have fucked it up because they didn't have Iga. Iga's done left, and so here's your Castlevania Harmony of Despair 2, whatever they're calling it. I think it's Grimoire of
I think Grimoire or something.
Grimoire of Grim shit too. And it's just mobile trash.
So sad. Let's see, 99 Nights. That was a fun one. Typical, what would you say, Mushu or whatever? You have your
the
loads.
Mushu, it's 1,000 versus 1. Early launch, and I think it was made to hit the Japanese launch, and it had a 6-month development time. And boy, it shows. But when you're starved for games, and especially starved for Japanese games for early 360, it's like, okay, we're excited to play this, and I played the shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean it looked great
from
what I can remember. Yeah. Again, how many playable characters? It's been a while.
It says 9 in the title, Jason. So we're gonna have 7 playable characters. Let me go get the AC real fast.
Sounds about right. And then again, you could level up your guys. I want to say your weapons and whatnot, and just to kill all the bajillions of peasants that much quicker, and pad your numbers and all that. But
as you gain levels, you got some pretty badass abilities, and a lot of them have huge frames of invincibility. And so the thing is, though, most of the enemies are also using player characters, so they had huge frames of invincibility, and it becomes this thing where you're trying to be invincible when they're not invincible, and dodge them when they are invincible.
Oh,
it
leads to I forgot about that.
The frog guy's another example. You can't be the frog guy, but he's in there as a boss. And there's other dumb shit, like when you kill a big ogre or something, he falls over on his items, and you can't pick up the items.
Yeah. Remember that now, too. Yeah.
And there's no horse or nothing, so if you killed other things in some area, you need to go all the way across the map. You're going to walk for 5 minutes with nothing going on. Yeah, it's super flawed. They just needed a game to launch out with that looked good. I would much rather actually played some of these flawed games with like 1 million characters than, a game that's all graphically, and just mediocre in its own. maybe because of the new systems have big Ryzen processors, we'll get to the point where we're going to have millions of guys on the screen at a time. We ain't there now, not in this generation.
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors is the only one doing it, and as you know, it's just the same Japanese peasant, just copied a million times, maybe with a sword, maybe with a spear, and he don't even attack. So, you know, is that even an enemy? He's just the gold power-up that you pick up by pressing the X button.
Get your rice ball. Let's see.
How much of Lollipop did you play?
Not a whole lot, but that's just because juggling other stuff at the time. Again, like we've already said, you know, love the campy, cheesy goofiness of it.
This is the only Suda 51 game I've played through. I have somewhere, what was it? I don't forget the name of the one with you have the dick skull gun. I forgot what that was. That's probably considered the best one out of all of those. There was another one where, of course, you have, what was it, the Killer 7 stuff. I've never played any of those.
Yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw is a pretty good fun 6 hours. You don't want to pay $60 for it.
No, I think I paid 10 or 15 maybe for my copy.
That's what it's worth. And dude, it's just fun. And she's awesome. And the little head she's got attached to her with her boyfriend is freaking great. I like the dumbass music. Of course, they put the Lollipop song in there.
Yeah. And
as you play more, she gets more abilities. And I think there was some kind of jumping chainsaw thing that was broken, so I just ended up spamming that.
Yeah, that's, you know, that, you know, we're going to throw Devil May Cry out there, even though it's the better game. You know, just all those kind of games where, yeah, you know, you're upgrading your weapons and things like that, and, you know, so it makes you an even more efficient killer and stuff. You know, just real satisfying.
Capcom says that these are officially called character action games, sir. Okay, you need to know that.
Okay.
All right.
Throwing that into
the memories. Speaking of memories, man, best exclusive RPG, Lost Odyssey. Dude, when this game came out, graphically, oh my god, it was fucking amazing. Right off the Unreal Engine, if I ain't mistaken. And I would say that you could say that this is a hidden Final Fantasy game. It definitely is. And it's a shame that it's locked down to basically 360. It should have been on everything.
Which, luckily, it is on the BC list on Xbox One. So again, nothing else, pick it up on that, because, yeah, it's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, when you freaking find the Xbox One for $100 and get this game, it's one of the few games I almost hit all the achievements for.
Wow.
What I liked about, there's a couple of big things. As you walked around the world, you would, I forgot the guy's name, but he's forgotten everything too. So as he walks around, he's immortal or whatever. He's lived for 1,000 years. He runs into those stories. Remember the stories? Mm-hmm. And they'll be hidden. And there's like 20 or something of them. I can't remember if they give you a special ability. You get achievements for them, and you want to just read the stories for the story's sake. And it's not even a part of the game. It's something that I think his name is Kane or something. It's just how he ends up remembering who he is by hearing about these stories that he's had of people who live and die while he has to live on. They throw a little bit of animation on there and there's some music. It makes it kind of like this visual novel thing. It is so fucking good. Remember the combat where you rush toward and you
to line up the rings.
It's some kind of circle or something like that. Just even though that's kind of a gimmick, it had so much. And games like Final Fantasy VIII had that when you're Squall, when you run up to somebody, you hit their trigger at the right time, you shoot them with your gun. It adds so much.
South Park did that also.
Yeah, it's so much. Mario, Super Mario RPG is real big about that. It helps flesh out, just pressing the A button to win, which is a lot of those games are. And there's another, I don't know if you remember this. I remember this distinctly. All of the immortals could take the abilities from their people in the game that weren't immortal and part of your party. So, Kane or whatever his name was, Kane, I don't know. He had a wife who was like the wizard character, but they had 2 kids, and they were also wizards. And so they would learn those kids' abilities by just being in a team. And even I don't remember this girl's name, but she would get them too because she was also immortal. and she had a son who actually was older than her because she lives forever and he dies. And you would end up making your team would actually be all of the immortal characters because there was 4 of them, and then they would have you would alternate out of the other characters to get everybody to learn their abilities. And I think there were some abilities tied to your actual weapons and gear. And so this made this cool dynamic. It's more than just killing people and gaining levels. You wanted to switch your gear out because you would add permanent stats to your guys. And once you get everything, and you were hooked, you had to get everything.
Yeah.
It ends up being just phenomenal. And one of the best games on 360, and it should be in everybody's collection.
Well, this was another one of those trying to get the Japanese market back up, right? It was they had
before they gave up.
Yeah, before they gave up. So they had Lost Odyssey, which was the best out of the group. I want to say Enchanted Arms to a lesser extent was supposed to do that, as well as Blue Dragon.
Yeah. Russell loved Blue Dragon. I was not impressed. There was some other fucking I can't remember all of that shit. It's not Remnant of Ashes. There was Remnant of something or another. That was a pretty good game. By the time you got to PlayStation and 360, the way to make money was to have your thing on everything, and so it was not like the Xbox OG, or it's going to have KOTOR, and then PlayStation can't have KOTOR. So these exclusives started to matter a lot, and it's kind of I'm hoping that this goes away. Everybody should be able to play these games on whatever the fuck they want. If you want to play Gears of War on Switch, you should be able to do it. And we're at the cusp of that.
Yes.
Streaming for whatever you laugh at Stadia, that's what's going to put that over the edge. I mean, once you can play all this shit on your phone, they think that's where the big market is. I'm saying that the people who play phone games are not going to be interested in Lost Odyssey. That's what I'm saying. But, if you are interested in that, you could play Lost Odyssey in your lunch break on your phone, and then go home, and then play it on. We'll say it's Lost Odyssey 2. Let's really put it out there. Play Lost Odyssey, go home and play it like the Switch, except on anything you want. How much Dark Souls you play?
Not really a whole lot. I played a little bit of Demon Souls because again that was another buddy was like, "Hey man, check this shit out," and like, okay, that's pretty cool, and I think that's about it.
You were Bloodborne. I borrowed your Bloodborne.
You did, which I need to start over on that eventually because the loadout I started.
You'd be so lost you would have to start.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Eventually, because I want to say I got. I know I have. Well, shoot, all those were on Games with Gold and stuff too. I think they're on Game Pass for Xbox One also. So they're readily available. So decently priced.
The one intersection I was looking to try to get the trilogy, the Trail Drew. Surprise, Drew. I didn't get it. It still costs a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Xbox One version. Now I think they're all backwards compatibility is compatible as well.
Yeah.
The trilogy will drop down, I think, eventually. But dude, the freaking Dark Souls is so good. Even the first one, even with a terrible frame rate and all that other shit. Bloodborne's my beast, my lover. The freaking Dark Souls is so great, and there's not too many night games out there. You get Bladestorm, but other than that, to be a night, even though you're an undead little guy underneath it, this is it, man. This is the fucking game. And this is what Castlevania would be like today if it was like a real. It's some weird way to say that, but you get all the castles, the horror, all of that shit's there.
I can see that.
They might not say, "Oh, well, this is Frankenstein." They're gonna make their own shit, which is fucking Frankenstein will be goddamn scared.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
they definitely hit those nice gothic visuals and character designs.
And even like some like the controls of like the Nintendo Castlevania, where you're more stiff and you need to be more calculated than Mario. Dark Souls has that here. A lot of people will bitch about whether the game should be easy or hard. I say, and they've kind of already done this. Well, Sekiro was definitely not it. But when you put the game on co-op, it becomes a whole lot easier. Monster Hunter be a perfect example. It's like when the monster's only on you, he's not on Kitty. It's pretty brutal. But as soon as you add people in for the monster to Argo, yeah, you could just go up and attack them on the feet or whatever, while the other person is holding the Argo, and then everybody's running shields anyway. So, but we got one more, Jason. One more.
All right.